The Battle of the Caucasus. On October the 9th, Russia celebrates the Day of Military Glory, the day of the defeat of Nazi German troops by Soviet troops in the Battle of the Caucasus. The Battle of the Caucasus is one of the longest battles of the Great Patriotic War, which lasted from July the 25th, 1942 to October the 9th, 1943. In 1942, German leadership planned to seize the oil fields of the Caucasus and reach the border with Turkey during the Operation Edelweiss. The Caucasus ensured 90% of the USSR's oil production. Lend-Lease supplies were being shipped across the Soviet-Iranian border. The task of the Soviet command was to stop the enemy, exhaust him, and create conditions for a counteroffensive. On July the 25th, 1942, the German-Romanian army force launched an offensive. Having significant superiority in personal strength, aircraft and tanks, the enemy advanced towards Stavropol, Maykop and Tuapse. Despite stubborn resistance, in late August, Germans captured Mozdok, part of the mountain passes of the Main Caucasian Ridge, and by mid-September, most part of Novorossiysk. An operational task force of NKVD troops was formed to defend the mountain passes, fight sabotage and reconnaissance units of the enemy, and protect the rear. There were 8 regiments, 7 separate battalions, 14 mountain rifle detachments, and 70 NKVD reconnaissance group operating in the passes. At the end of September, a fierce battle for Mozdok broke out. The city changed hands 14 times. The enemy was stopped on the outskirts of Voznesenskaya. On October the 23rd, the 18th Army under the command of Grechko began counteroffensive against the German Tuapse task force. On December the 17th, the enemy's group was destroyed. By the end of 1942, the German fascist troops were stopped on all fronts. To reinforce the group near Stalingrad, the 3rd Romanian Army and some German strike formations were removed from the Caucasian direction. As a result, by the beginning of 1943, the Wehrmacht formations began to be inferior to the Soviet troops in numbers, equipment and armament. After the victory at Stalingrad, the Red Army was able to go on to active offensive in the North Caucasus. The overall coordination of the North Caucasian offensive operation, codenamed Dawn, was entrusted to Marshal Vasilevsky. Troops of the Transcaucasian, Southern and Northern Caucasian fronts were engaged in the operation with the assistance of the Black Sea Fleet and the Azov military flotilla. On January the 3rd, 1943, the cities of Moldok and Mozdok were liberated. On January the 4th, the city of Nalchik. The 588th Women's Bomber Aviation Regiment Night Witches, under the command of Major Yevdokia Bershanskaya, fought heroically in the skies over Mozdok. 23 girls of this regiment were awarded the title of the Hero of the Soviet Union. When chasing the enemy, General Kozlov's 37th Army liberated Budenovsk, Georgievsk, Kislovodsk, Pyatigorsk and Yessentuki by January the 11th, 1943. On January the 21st, Nevinomysk and Voroshilovsk, nowadays Stavropol, were liberated. On February the 13th, 1943, a mountain rifle group of Chekists dropped Hitler's banners from the top of Elbrus and hoisted the national flag of the Soviet Union. Developing the offensive operation, Soviet troops liberated the Caucasian foothills and Krasnodar. The Battle of the Caucasus ended victoriously with the liberation of Novorossiysk and Taman. The North Caucasian offensive operation resulted in total liberation of Kalmykia, Chechen-Ingushetia, North Ossetia, Kabardino-Balkaria, Rostov region, Stavropol region, Circassian, Karachay and Adyghe autonomous regions. Vladikavkaz, Moldok, Rostov-on-Don, Tuapse, Nalchik, Anapa, Taganrog, Grozny were awarded honorary titles of the City of Military Glory for courage, perseverance and mass heroism in the struggle for freedom and independence of the fatherland. For outstanding services to the motherland during the Great Patriotic War, the hero city of Novorossiysk was awarded the Order of Lenin and the Gold Star Medal.